thought they go home. Tim, playoffs awaits for the winner. For the other, a fly.
Tough one to deal with the Monty. We've seen some powerful players, powerful plants, you know, using him to create space and everything else.
That is how things have shaped up. But look underneath, we've got Bappen on the Mozzie. Of course, no C4 in back pocket for this round. Instead, rocking the EMPs, the impacts. They've got 6 of those, or did have to start the round out. Gomez to get the first kill. Player falls to the floor.
So Oxygen are starting to make good progress here, I was going to say. Gomez manages to find 2, and Yoga will find that kill. Needs to be careful because Forest is up on that heaven window, the cocktail balcony. He's up there just trying to hold that line of sight down. Gomez gets taken out through from kind of the lumber area, so they need to really be aware of this and don't give him anything.
Oh, well,
that's the one they need.
Yeah, they've got the key man they need, which now means they can march on into bar itself. Relay's the main man here, who they don't yet know about. Is tucked in, waiting to see a gun step up, but no, not quite seeing his man just yet. It's a matter of pixels, and he loses out to Forest. That's heartbreaking. Could have been a big moment for him, but Relays couldn't quite find the shot in time. Say this is kind of the most utility being burnt out. They've got 1 smoke left in back pocket with Grixer. The problem is, Tim, as we've seen so often, trying to force everything in from one direction normally ends up going a little bit sour. 1 C4 can end everything, although that said, OXG have found 2 kills to get the opening up. The glass finally traded back out, but I feel like a lot of the utility sat in back pocket for OXG has been expended here, Tim. Inside the first 90 seconds, they're a little bit limited on where to go from here.
Fisher Guy manages to pick up Atom. Gomez is going to take some damage in that Toxic Babe as well, but does manage to move in still through it and get that kill. The trade onto Fisher Guy, leaving them now 3 versus 2. Just having a look if there's an opportunity maybe for Grixer to get in here and think about putting the diffuser down, but Bappen at the minute is currently causing a bit of an issue for them. He's just playing in behind that reinforcement and using
his hands. We had nothing else he could do. He couldn't shoot back. Unfortunate not to get the kill, but that could be the golden opportunity that they need. In towards Prep they step, and Oxygen starting their march on in. Forest getting another. Seems to be quite clinical in these closing round situations, Tim.
Tuan's movement could be smart here. If they're not aware of his position, he could come out. They've got the hole that looks through into sight at bottom red stairs, so he could actually swing across here and get a line onto this plant. It is possible, but Forest might just hear him move because he's got to take the vault, you see. He comes across, he's going to look for the challenge. Can't find it. Grixer's there ready. I like the idea for him. Onto the rappel on the windows. Forest is in and around. Forest is actually going in for a plant here. He's gone straight into reading room, or he's trying to at least, but it's not really paid off. I just saw him sprint on the top then, sprinting in through reading room towards that door. I thought, they're definitely going for it. They've managed to recover the diffuser here. Grixer's got it in hand, but still 3v4. It's all sort of falling apart here. Bappen manages to pick up his 3rd of the round. That's going to be 1 versus 6 the face into his ADS, and he can bring a 1v4 to a 1v3. You know, everything that you can get is going to make it a little bit more doable, but that's certainly not going to help. Chip damage does manage to take down Bappen eventually, but Relays is there with a nice spray through the wall, and that's going to be Enterprise clear.
Door and just charge straight out there and potentially catch a couple of them that are sat off on the rappel. Of course, the longer he leaves it, the less chance it's got to do with that now. And now that we're 90 seconds in, I imagine that window is slowly starting to close. Gomez, though, starting things out. Down goes Relays, who's hanging around upstairs. A great C4 from Fisher Guy from downstairs. Finds at least 1 back. Things staying even, so as much.
Oxygen have stalled out a little bit. They've recovered the diffuser now, but they're kind of no further than they were before. They're in cigar shot. That's a second nitro there player this time. He's going to pick one up with the weapon as well. A trade onto Atom, who managed to get Fisher Guy. 2 versus 3. Grixer, Yoga continuing to try and do some work here, but Yoga's going to take some damage from in behind the counter there, and honestly, I think Oxygen struggled to break this down.
Ooh, he's tucked in so tight here, player. I don't know if they know that he's still here. Hasn't yet exposed himself, has to be super careful. But if he holds the spot for long enough, he can be the X Factor in this round for them. 1 more tucked inside a freezer as the 2 boys now start working their way down white. Bappen finds 1, is traded out straight after. Player, of course, off towards his right-hand side, but 2 hands up close. And Enterprise, you leave him a little bit short on certain areas on the map, and that weakens the power of the execute overall. Oh, Bappen, he's punched it at the wrong time to be thought, haha, a small hole in the wall. No, it's a whole painting falling down.
Atom's going to get him. No, he didn't need to. As it is, Forest manages to get Tuan anyway. But Tuan did pick up Gomez along the way, so that's not too bad. Stops the plant going down. It was just really nice and showed the power of that VIP position, so they need to clear that out.
There we go. Nade is certainly one way to do it, though. They're rushing with the shield, and they've got him sorted. Yog's got that one answered. Not a problem, Tim. They're in a 4v2, but time waits for no one. There's only 15 seconds left. A few shots through onto them, and he could have seen so many kills coming in. It could have been the same there for Relays, but a bit too much to do when all of OXG are stacked up together. They get themselves back on the board.
Out of danger. Fisher guy's just going to go straight over the top rope, down the stairs, and heads back towards site. So that gives top floor control over to Oxygen now. Too easy. Sees his man. Yoga picks him up. That's 2 and gone. Gives us 4 versus 4 levels to plant just inside that door. But the problem with that is Bappen and Relays that are playing around Pillar.
I've really got to see player get something with the C4. It's coming out now and he's tossing the Skywards, but he's finding no one. Both C4s used, no players found with all this information. Frankly, that's criminal, Tim. You can't be getting away with that, I think. But OXG holding somewhat of a good opportunity here to get this over the line as Yog's in a great spot, gets a second. March is on 4, gets pillar control. They haven't got deep control, Tim, but I don't think they need it because there's nothing to stop them planting here.
No, that's it. As soon as this smoke dissipates, Yog could arguably go in and plant. That's what he's going to try and do.
Well,
I'm just not sure with having lost that player whether they're going to have enough cover or not. Just gets the time for the plant to go down, but they see Atom drop the hatch. Might have been better trying to hold from above. Now he's got himself in a 1v2, and they can just push him on opposite sides. That is a big moment for Atom, managing to drop the pulse, leaving himself 1v1. Oh! He hears him coming. Beautiful double from Atom. And very competitive so far within this. I'm interested to see these first couple of attacks. I get a feeling that Oxygen, being that it's their map pick, could really start just locking. Very lateral here. They know that somebody's in train, do they? Yes, they do. Very easily found.
Forrest, you good?
Okay, Relays manages to get one along the way. Yoga has held back Bappen, so it's now 3 versus 4. Enterprise certainly in the ascendancy, and I don't think Oxygen were quite ready for this kind of a rush.
No, this has been absolutely fantastic out of Enterprise. Really come in, hit them fast here like a freight train, and there's not a lot they can do to stop, but I'm worried because now that they've got into sight, it's like they've got nowhere else they can charge Tim. They've blown their load. They've already used the smokes here to get into where they need to be. Lots of Candela still to play with, but where do you go now?
This is it. They've actually backed off a lot because they haven't really had a choice. Two-Hand does manage to get one, though. Confirms the kill onto Yoga. 2 versus 3. Atom and Grix are going to be the ones trying to hold on. Relays finds his man. It's all up to Atom. He's on the perfect top 4.
Realistically from here, it's quite safe except for the hatch. Do they know where he is? I'm not 100% sure they do. Maybe they do now. As they round on the corner, they uses the smoke himself to get into a good bit of cover. Tries to get the alternate angle, but Two-Hand finds him first. Enterprise win their first attack.
White stairs because Fisher guy is over there with the diffuser. We can see it on a screen in front of us, and so they have to deal with Yoga in that position. Atom manages to pick up Two-Hand, and this is exactly the problem. He's going to use his auto canisters to try and force them forward. Nitro goes out, gets his man. They do clear Yoga out, but that is a big kill for him to pick up. I think taking the Blackbeard out and losing Yoga there is actually a fine trade.
Oh, mate, Forrest is in such a good spot. Of course, the mobile shield really going to help you. Will lose the shield, so now he becomes a little bit naked. Just the gun to go.
20
seconds. Relays
is
there to get the close, but like you say, Tim, they've wasted so much time. We're down to a 3v3.
Yeah, it's ideal from Yoga, like I say, especially with the backup from the Clash as well. They've played that really well. Atom manages to get another. Grixer comes down to a 1v1. 7 seconds left to go. Grixer, is he going to try and get himself out of dodge? I doubt it, because he's got the shotty. He knows exactly what he's doing. There we go. It was maybe a little bit.
I tell you what, it was a genius play.
They're now on their 3rd choice site, and it is mining, so looks like they're not going to be going up there. They are defending up there this time because they want to keep that verticality. You can't be letting Gomez win that, Relays. He'd already put a couple of bullets into him. Really just turns around, goes on the counter swing, and takes his man down. 5 versus 4. Great opener for OXG.
Here comes Two-Hand marching in towards storage. He's got the right idea, and it's a great part of the map to be inside. In fact, both of them are here. They get the deep freezer player, which is nice, and Atom is going to drop away. 20 seconds.
Yeah, exactly that. Forrest is just going to have a wriggle around on that floor to get himself out from behind that dining table. Moves through into train. Oh, Atom, it was a little bit target rich for him. He couldn't choose which to go for. They see the man, but Forrest gets the kill. Goes for another, but player finds the answer. 3 seconds left to go. No choice but to stop putting it down.
He missed the other one.
It's the Yokai. Takes it down, stops the round.
Jury, because again, modern day Siege, it's harder to be dominant across a whole year as G2 were back in the day. A run out, and Forrest has got rid of player. He's come back for second, Tim. He's double dipped.
He's double dipping, Des. He's gone in for more. How rude. Surprises, but I think Enterprise are going to be fighting tooth and nail for that one. But we've got to get there first. This one isn't over. Relays manages to pick up Gomez. He manages to get another. They're turning it around as I speak. We thought it was going to be over. Forest with a Nitro 2v2.
A lot of his kills have come in these diamonds.
I say that, and he does, and takes a little bit more damage there, but the Toxic Babe canister will grab a little bit from Relays. They've let him walk up. Forest, he's been moved away from the top of White Stairs. Bappen knows. He finds the second, and that was a good... I've not had a great time with. I think we've got a fantastic team here in Siege. But given that I watched Nick play a lot, it'd be cool to cast with him at some point.
I'd love to cast with Fabian at some point. Oh my God, Tuhan, calm down, my friend. Tell you what, the Aussies are going to be shutting me up, Tim. I was joking earlier when I was saying, like, oh, they've turned up at 5 AM to watch their team get slapped, but I really thought they were going to lose this map, Tim, but they are fighting their way back in. Forest and Grixer yet again have got to pull off a clutch, but now there are even more players left on the other side. There's nades coming on through. It's not a pretty time to be Forest right now as he's dug in deep. This is Hell in a Cell, baby, and there's 5 players coming in. A flawless round for Enterprise. We're up to round 12.
He's going and opening everything up. We've got the Deimos there in support as well. Otherwise, beautiful. Otherwise, we are down into the bakery. Gomez just drops a Nitro at his feet and lets the Blitz run over it. Just dares him to challenge him. Detonates and takes the shield out of play. Atom led prone, finds a beauty onto player. 5 versus 3, and the clash is making life a nightmare right now for Enterprise. Not looking good.
How is Gomez tied there of all places? He was in behind the counter and has lost his life to it. But like you say, the clash is now back inside bakery. That's ground retaken. It'll be so hard to knock them out of unless this charging forward and get the kill. That's it works. Shooting him in the back, but Forest, no. Escapes him towards sight. Tuhan snaps onto Yogg, but Yogg finds him first. Bappen has got to be that hero, but there is no time left. 3 kills to find for himself. Oxygen going to break Oceanic hearts here, I'm afraid, in taking away this first map. And we'll have to see how Chalet goes, Tim.
Yeah, Bappen doesn't have the diffuser. There's absolutely nothing he can do here. Grixer is going to pick up that final kill. OXG, they get map 1 after a little bit of a false finish, really, on that 5 versus...
Visit any map in Rainbow Six Siege. Which one would you visit?
It's an easy choice. I'd probably go with Coastline. As long as it come in and try to clear out this Roma for the time being. Atom does manage to pick up Tuhan, but there will be a trade there as Bappen has the response. Gomez counter trades that and takes him down. This is trade for trade for trade at the minute, and Oxygen are...
I believe that it's Grixer that's coming over. Realize it's dropped down though. Knows there's a challenge coming on through, and Yogg has gone very, very solo there and paid the price for it. They lose the shield. Tim really could have held on a few more seconds. Stepping in and starting to move his way forward. Eats up a couple of those Denari laser zaps. In fact, he walks into a second one. Tim, that's not a good start for him. And it's a freebie being lined up here. His player brings down Forest for free. Now looking for his second on towards the man I was speaking about a second ago. Was looking for a third, but now being challenged from 2 angles. Looking like Enterprise going to hold on here in round 1, Tim.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. A triple for player at the end from that position on mezzanine. Close down, Glass is on the cover. It's going to have to be good. Straight around the corner, but the shots ring off the shield and are not going to do anything to stop that plant going down. 5 versus 3.
They're all alive, Tim.
Yeah, this is done. 3 versus 5. Bappen up top. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to hold that from above, but they're just going to hold it from the window. I really don't see that there's much that's going to be done here, especially given that plant position, Des. It's right in the corner. You can't long arm it. You can't get anywhere near this without showing yourself to these attackers. So, yeah, this one's over. Oxygen with a great rush there, picking up the second round. It's going to be 1-1.
I really feel bad digging explode forward pretty damn quickly as 4 players on the side of Oxygen now very much focused on getting this B-site wall opened up. Out comes a little bit of freeze to slow things down as Fisher Guy starts out with the kill on towards Atom. Enterprise for now holds strong, Tim, but here come the Americans.
Yeah, I like this plan. Rather than worry about the electrified wall, they've just gone to the one that runs 90 degrees to it and got that one open instead. It's going to have the same effect, which is forcing players back out of office. But right now, Enterprise and things like helmets, all that sort of stuff that wouldn't be a body part is not going to be a part of a hitbox. Gomez goes in, manages to get the kill. Fisher Guy onto Yoga, 3 versus 2.
Just the 2 left alive here as well. They've at least got a little bit of control, but now they most certainly do not with player just deleting Grixer. Gomez Unfortunately, got it all to do, and then has got to worry about the actual downstairs site itself. So it's really going to be kill all 3, or this one is toast. And inside 15 seconds, Tim, I don't think he'll get away with it. Once again, we've got player ready and waiting, but there's a C4 from below.
1 minute 45 left on the clock. And I think at this point, they're just kind of struggling to get themselves established, and they are going to be punished. Double punished as player and Fisher Guy managed to pick up 1 apiece.
Yeah, 2 for themselves looking pretty good then. Oh, that's not so ideal, but at least you'll get rid of things in the end.
Still didn't.
And they still managed to get the wall opened up. It's okay. It's not ideal, but it's okay. It's okay. We can still play the round. Atom getting rid of 2 hands.
Until there is either they're watching or they've come off rappel, which would be the case because Grix has gone in and joined Yoga down in trophy. 1 kill apiece as Bappen tries to come up West Main. Grix is there ready.
Quite finished off yet, but there is no real time to get him up, I don't think, here. It would be a massive risk as we get in towards the last 10 seconds. Grixer and Adam have got to go for it.
They've got to find kills because the diffuser is down. They don't have it in hand. It's out on office balcony, and I don't think they're going to get it. So they've got to chase them down. They can't get it done in time. And that just goes to show you leave that case down cold. Noise to see if Atom repels in. There we go. Exactly that. Free. No!
Oh!
No! How does Atom get away with it? Into the mental to not pick up this one. They've already lost the 5v3 today. They don't want to do it again. They've given up the Blackbeard far too easily. Player is able to escape. 4 versus 2 though, as Gomez is there for the trade. Grixer onto Fisher Guy, and surely they can get it over the line from here. Two-hand looking to hold on. He's only got the SMG in hand. Who does have the shotgun, of course, available, but doesn't really want to be taking long-range fights with it, so instead sticks with the sidearm. Two-hand does get at him. Flicks a second onto Grixer, surely not. The diffuser's going down.
He's got to make the cross on. Forrest is just a bit too good in these end round situations, Tim. We saw it back. Guns looking in. There we go. Robot board charging on forward. Here is smoke coming out from the other side, though, as I believe it's on at least the one starting to try and hold them back. It's not quite going to be the case, unfortunately, as that smoke first goes off. Opens things up for him to step in, but no player getting one back. Gomez being stopped. And it's Atom on the other side. I'm still looking to when he does make an entrance forward. He's had such explosive impact in this game, but so far has not managed to do just so in the round. 4v3 for Enterprise. They're holding on well yet again, Tim. Everything OXG being pushed to be above to deny a plant going on down, which is why he hasn't disappeared into the basement and may want to try and hit them on a little bit of a flank. It is a rush for them, but if someone steps, like you can see here, a foot or 2 out of position, he can get away with a kill. And he steps there looking for the spray down, but misses his man. That's so unfortunate, but it's a 4v2. He can afford to take the risk. Gets a couple of shots on to Atom, finally finishes him off. Two-hand with the close, and Enterprise, and in the half.
And we move into our banning phase.
As Army and Grim to disappear. Enterprise having on the defense. They've got to come out with a 4-2 themselves to at least get to an OT. Does 5-1 feel a stretch? I think you can very clearly see for Enterprise. They're not looking to try and rush in here and go for a window plant in the same way that we saw out of OXG. That may come later on. I say that and they lose the Monty, so I don't think it is going to happen now, Tim.
Yep, Gomez manages to pick him up with a headshot, so 5 versus 4, player taking damage as well, and there is some early aggression coming in here, but I tell you what, OXG, they're actually stepping up and standing up to it really, really well. The Toxic Babe can
step inside the building. It's still controlled across the whole board, really, by OXG. They've got 2 players above Bappen here who's going to really struggle to step on board. They've got one downstairs in the form of Gomez, who styles on him. They just wrap it up to him with a flawless round to kick things off. Not a good sign for the... No doubt then a lot of eyes turn towards the Capital player to really make a difference. From the execute, and that is not a great start.
Well, that's what I'm here for. Look, all down this left side.
Yeah.
Just like you've got your angles into sight, and you can just let them filter in and take them out as they do.
I mean, at that point, Tim, they only need to go try and get over the first hurdle, which is Gomez, because right now he's deleting them all. 2 hands down, 2 diffuser, of course, Cole on the ground. Very little they can do, and Gomez really fought himself there. Don't really think it demanded a sprint like that, but he goes for it. He gets put down. Still an opportunity for Enterprise to recover the round.
The thing is, he was right. They were there, but he didn't ADS soon enough. He ADS too late.
It's more the question of why. You didn't need to make the play.
He just wasn't ready for the fight.
Grixer was.
Grixer is going to pick up 2-hand, as you say. He was very ready for that way. And the thing is, they know exactly where they're coming from now. Diffuser's down. They don't have a choice. They have to keep pushing this now to Enterprise. There's no choice of rotating, adapting, anything else. It effectively becomes a 1v4 now for player. Might have the opportunity to pick his man up. 20 seconds left to go. It's really not going to matter. Forrest does manage to finish off onto Bappen. I think Oxygen are probably just going to run at player now, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not been a great start to the half, that's for sure. OXG looking...
Pull down through the hatch. Ella now being targeted out. Yoga being tracked down by that Deimos. Not going to mind too much though. You can kind of just let the challenge come from there. Yoga is going to get the kill onto Bap, and it's all falling apart again. And this is exactly what I said might happen as Enterprise try to bring that aggression, try to track, try to chase, try to push. Oxygen sit back, let them, and just take the gunfights as they come. There is no rattling this OXG side. They can smell their future in the Six Invitational, Des. They know.
Don't think even with 45 seconds he's got too much hope of getting through the last couple of players, not when there is a C4 on side. There's an impact nade, and of course a lot of experience on this OXG side to know not to overpeak in this 1v3. And sure enough, third round.
That's going to be another problem as this round continues. You've got 1:05 left to go, and you've still got 2 on the top floor. If they're able to move into library, for example, it becomes a problem. That's better. Player manages to pick up one of them, so that leaves Grixon out alone on library stairs. He's still able to challenge though. Gomez manages to get the trade, but cut down by Tuhan. But again, the trade game from OXG has been very, very good. They're working as a team brilliantly. 3 versus 2 as it stands at the minute. 40 seconds left to go, and that was an important kill because it takes Grixer off top floor. So now, Enterprise, you don't have all the time in the world, but just take a little breath.
2 C4s to work into though here. I mean, admittedly, not worry about the long-range gunfights for now. That's a great down into Fisher, and they know they've got that confirmed too as Atom steps over. 2 handfuls, 2, and again, Tim, it's happening for the Aussies. They have such a good spot to be in, and it all starts to crumble away. They even miss what looks like a bit of a freebie. It's a 2v3 being 1 out, and Tim, we said we couldn't afford to see those kind of situations.
The Toxic Babe, they've baited that out at least. Yoga used 1 to prevent any push coming in like that after the Candela went off. Grixer is going to get the opener. Relays is there for one of his own, 4 versus 4, but Oxygen again, trade. That is all they have done in the second half of this, and it's been brilliant. 4 versus 2, they have cut them asunder, and it looks like that is going to be that, Des.
They've tried their very best to make use of the smokes, not realising there was a warden on the other side. All it has done has hurt them and give OXG a few freebies to close it up, Tim, and secure their spot in the playoffs here at the Six Invitational.
Yep.